Are you looking for comprehensive solutions for your performance and automotive needs? Straight Line Performance and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop specializing in race car fabrication, electrical design, chassis setup, and alignment. Located in Hamden, Connecticut, they also specialize in aftermarket high performance and chassis upgrades. Be sure to look them up on Facebook at www.facebook.com/straightline, STR8LINE, Performance, ampersand Automotive, or give them a call at 203-415-5316. Welcome, racers and fans, to the Racers News Network Live, presented by Straight Line Performance and Automotive, and your hosts, Chris and Pete, bring you the latest news and interviews in the world of sportsman drag racing, including bracket racing, association races, outlaw, and no-time events. We are live every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take it away, boys. I guess I didn't know.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Racers News Network Live. We are going to have the privilege tonight of talking to somebody that I met for the first time. I don't know, probably been, 5-6 years now, Denny?
At least. It's got to be.
At least.
It's got to be.
I think it's safe to say that I was kind of close to around the birth of the special event that Denny works on. It's something that's very near and dear to me. There's very few people that do know this, but my son was born with a congenital heart defect, and we spent a lot of time in Boston at Children's Hospital, and also a lot of time at Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center up in Lebanon, New Hampshire. And they have a facility called David's House, which is very similar to the Ronald McDonald House that Denny's involved with, where they give the families a place to sleep, a place to eat, decompress, just kind of try to live as much of a normal life as possible with everything that they're going
through. Their darkest time. Yep.
Absolutely. So like I said, I first got the chance to talk to Denny about 5 or so years ago, and I think it's safe to say that your amazing charity, the Race for Ronald's House, has grown by leaps and bounds.
Well, excuse me. Yeah, it's become a whole lot more than just something to do, as we were saying before. It's actually become something where now we've become an entity of our own, shall I say. And by that, I have people who are actually coming out to meet with me now, people that are wanting to get on into this type of a thing. I mean, I get it. At the beginning, it's kind of hard to know who you can trust and what you can do and where you can go. This is my 18th year now, and it's become something that I've really enjoyed doing. And now it becomes an entity of its own, Chris. And as you well know how important it truly is, I'm meeting more and more people out there that tell me their story. And I mean, I'm sad to hear that they have a story. It's a shame that anybody has a story, but that is life. And I'm just so pleased that I get to meet these people and I get to help these people in just a teeny tiny little way, you know? It's $15 puts a family up for an entire night and feeds them. Where are you going to find a deal like that? And Chris, it's been the same price for years and years and years. I mean, this is not a moneymaker. This is a nonprofit setup, the Ronald McDonald House. There's 375 of them now around the world. And we're just doing what we can to, leave a mark in the world.
Very cool. Now, how long has the racing scene been a part of the Race for Ronald's House?
Well, it started off with a toy drive at a shop I was working at. I managed a Corvette shop, the parts. And we decided that we wanted to let people know that we're there. And it was like, well, what do we do? I came up with the idea one Monday morning and said, let's do a toy drive. And they said, okay, you do it. I was like, yeah, okay, I guess I will. And I did. And it's went on for a few years like that. And then everyone was like, we have so much fun, but we need to do this in the summertime too. And I'm sitting in my race car and I'm thinking to myself, there's no way I'm gonna put that Santa suit on in 90-degree weather, that type of thing. Because I cooked in wintertime with it on. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, we should just find a way to race for Ronald's house. And then it dawned on me, it's like, well, there it is, race for Ronald's house. So I guess as we've been into it, I did figure this out before. First couple of years, we did a couple of them, then got down to once a year, actually renting the track for just us instead of sharing with others. I'm going to say it's been a good 10 years. It just blossomed into many things. It is now no longer called Race for Ronald's House, though. I just got to make that point. Ronald McDonald, who was the clown, their mascot, he's one of the last mascots to leave the world, so to speak. There's no more Hamburglers from Burger King and no more Ronald McDonald from McDonald's house. They're all gone. And when these kids were putting on clown masks and going out and robbing people, they use that as a opportunity to say, we can't have that bad publicity. Let's just kill it all. So they killed Ronald. They did it. They got rid of him. And it's a shame because the guy, Keith, he was really good. People loved him, old and young, kids at the hospital. But anyway, it's now called Race for the House, the number 4, Race for the House. And that's the only way I can accept donations and checks and write checks for them now. I am a 501(c)(3). We've grown into that. And just to give you an idea, Chris, of how hard we've been working, we were, as of last year, at 4 events a year. I would do every 3 months. The first one is a dinner. The second one would be the race at Maple Grove Raceway. The third one would be a breakfast at Cedar Hollow, just like the dinner, Cedar Hollow Inn in Malvern. And that was my plug. And then the toy drive itself has now been moved to the Kemerton Fairgrounds, which is just an unbelievable place. Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret, something really exciting. This past weekend, I started dating a young lady, and she actually put on a beef and beer for my charity to take to the McDonald's house. So that's now 5 different events. And this is my 18th year, and I just couldn't believe that somebody would do that for us, all on their own.
Wow.
It's wonderful. And I encourage other people to do it, and some have, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So now we're up to 5 events a year. Last year, we wrote a check for $68,000 and change. So that's for 1 year. And we're now over $405,000 that we've raised over the years, dollar at a time.
And again, that, like you said, when we first started talking, $15 a night, houses and feeds a family. So people out there can do the math on their own. That's a whole lot of people that they're helping or able to help.
It's a great deal. Well, here's the thing. They just expanded. They doubled in Philadelphia. They put up 2 towers. They had one donor come in with $50 million. So they have raised the other $5 million. So there's a $55 million addition to the original Ronald McDonald House. With that being said, that $15, if those people show up and don't have the $15, then they don't pay anything. And that's where we come in. Our money goes there. But not only does it go there to McDonald's house, but if they're unable to, if they're full, McDonald's house will give them the money to, well, actually buys the room at a nearby place, and they stay there until the McDonald's house has an opening and they can move them over. And not only that, Chris, but there's things that people don't really understand what all they do. They run camps and things for the kids in the summertime, the siblings. They invite the kids back to go up to the camp. It's a 2-week thing. And they're always looking for volunteers for that, by the way. But on top of all that, if your child goes into the hospital and you have to be there with your child, of course, not only do they give you a place to stay so you can do that, if you're there for an extended amount of time, you could lose your job, which means you can lose your home, you can lose your car loan, whatever. The Ronald McDonald House will pay your mortgage each month while you're staying with them, just to make sure you get the land on your feet when you go home. What do you think of that? I can hear you. There you are.
You know, I mean, again, coming from my past experience with something similar to that, that is just mind-boggling. It really is.
I love it. I do. I really do. It's a charity I obviously can get behind, and that made me start my own charity. It got very complicated to raise money, and believe it or not, to house the money and then to take it to them, and then there's taxes and everything else. So I made it easy. I just started my own charity. It's a 501(c)(3). You can donate to me. Everything's great. There's records on everything. And at the end of the year, I write to McDonald's House a big old check. And if you go on to www.raceforthehouse, that's the number 4.org, you can go there and you can look at all the stuff that we've done over the years, each year, and you'll see the finale each December when we take the check and the toys down. That's the other thing, the toys, Chris. Every year, we do a box truckload of toys. The toy drive usually nets 75 to 80 contractor bags of toys. And that's a lot of toys. And you know the price of toys now, and people still come out and donate money too. I mean, people are good. People want a way to do it. So that's what I provide, a way to help the kids, a way to help the families.
I'm shocked about how much it has grown, and since you know
Yeah.
the first time that we've
How
spoken,
about it?
I'm almost at a loss for words.
Well, it's with your help getting the word out there and many, many, many other people. If you don't mind, I actually wrote a little bit of a list. I'd like to tell you a little bit more if you got a minute.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Hoping you would say that. And it's more than I can remember. So I'm old now, Chris. Much older than the last time we talked. So anyway, I went over, we had the dinner at Cedar Hollow, and we just had another one at a new place. And by the way, Cedar Hollow is a beautiful place to go to. They've always been behind me, and they can't do enough for us. They're great. But this new place that we went to, if you're ever in Clifton Heights, you got to go to Murray's Bar and Grill. I'm telling you that the place is just that kind of a place where you are at home the very minute you walk in, and you don't want to even leave. It's great there. But anyway, we do the breakfast and we do the dinners and all that. And then we have the toy drive. Now we started some other stuff too. At my race, there's a racer that we race with. He's a pretty cool guy, but I won't tell him that unless he's listening. His name
If
is
it's who
Dave
I think it is, yeah, Dave.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
already made a comment.
Uh-oh. Well, he lies a lot. No. Dave started this thing called Dog Fest, and this is his 11th year doing it. Now, this man never asks for anything. He invites everybody to show up, and he'll give you a hot dog, and that's how it started if you come and race at my race in June. Well, now about 150 people stop by to get that hot dog, and there are many, many friends of his core friends that bring all sorts of things. I mean, we eat like a king that day, and it's because racers helping racers getting behind doing this for the Ronald McDonald House. Or actually, they're doing it for my charity. I'm embarrassed to even say that, but it's for the Ronald McDonald House. But this guy, him, his wife, I mean, they just, they put out more time and effort than you can believe, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Dave, if you're listening to this, God bless you, brother, because you really deserve every pat on the back you get. And anyway, this year he even made T-shirts. He made T-shirts that help out and everything. I mean, he's just taking this on. It's like a charity of his own to help out, just like Dolores did with the beef and beer the other night. So we got people doing stuff like that, and I'm sure I'm going to forget people. And if you're listening, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to leave you out. I'm going to go with the old card again. What do you think? So anyway, this year what we're going to do is not only do we have the beginner class, the street class, the pro class, the super pro class, the last chance class. We're also doing the junior dragsters, which a friend of mine who has always been a supporter of the junior dragsters, this man takes care of all the kids there that he can. Anybody goes to him, he's willing to help them out. Anyway, this year he's going to handle the junior class for me. He has his own flyer. He's out there getting his own sponsorship for it. He's doing an amazing job. And juniors, you know, they're the future, these junior kids. So I can't thank Mark Nahr enough for doing that. He's doing great. So we have all those classes, but now also for entertainment, we're going to have the Nostalgia Stock Super Stock class come out. And those guys are pretty cool. They race down Cecil. Well, they came up a couple of years ago when we were afraid to do it. And now they're going to come up and bring all their cars up again to have some fun and show off what they can do to the fans. And with that being said, Mandra's coming back again too. And they too are a really great club. And just seeing between those two clubs alone, if there's a car that you haven't seen for a while, it's going to be in one of those two clubs. I mean, they're all there. They're really cool cars. And then we're going to have, get this, East Coast Fuelers. They're coming out. These are the guys who run the fuel injected type of dragsters and stuff.
Yep.
They're big. They're big. And you might have already met these people. I don't know. What else we got? Okay. We have a couple guys that come out every single year for me, no matter what. And that's Mike Droney from Mike Droney Racing and Bob Hill from Bustin' Loose. These two guys bring their alcohol funny cars out, and they put on a neat little side-by-side race for us. It's pretty cool. It really is. Last year, we had Dawn Purdue there with the jet car from Wicked Sensation. They can't make it this year because of a booking thing, but whenever they can, they always come out to help us out. So we have that for the show. Well, you probably know this guy because I know he's been up at New England Dragway. You know someone by the name of George Reitnauer?
Yes.
The Excalibur?
Yes.
Well, George is a friend of mine. George has retired the Excalibur, and he got himself, he built it, a new car called China Syndrome. I believe that was a funny car from a long time ago.
Yeah,
Well,
it was a
George-
tribute car, yeah.
Yep. Well, George has put it together, and he contacted me today, and he says, I'm coming to your race. And that blows me away because he has the capability of maybe hitting the fives.
Wow.
And that will probably make him I think he already is, if not really close. I think he's already the fastest alcohol funny car out here, nostalgia funny car. But now he's really going for it. And I'll tell you what, I'm blown away. Because he hangs with, he has himself Bill Hodgins, who is Jungle Pam's husband. Jungle Pam will be there. I believe, I can't guarantee that, but usually anytime George does, they all come out. And it's not cheap for him to do this. But this is their donation. All these guys are doing all this stuff as a donation to help, to get people to come in. And what that means is it's $20 for a carload of people. As many people as you can get in that car, it's $20. And you come in and you can watch these people run like crazy. And it's a great show. It'll be a great time with a lot of fun. If you want to race your car, which I hope you do too, it's $65. It's a $65 donation, and we're going to run it like a regular bracket race. And there is cash money at the end, and we're just going to have a great day like we did before. So far, 197 is our maximum. Last year was 195. I want to break 200 this year, Chris. What are you going to drive? Tell me what you're going to drive, buddy. No.
What's the date? What's the date?
June 18th. June 18th. Gates open at 8.
As much of a cop-out as this is, unfortunately, I'm having some pretty radical surgery on the 15th.
So you're not busy 3 days later. Perfect. All right. Well, we wish you well on that. But yeah, it's just everything is working out really well. Maple Grove Raceway, of course, I call it the track that cares. Every year they host us there for a smaller track rental. Nothing like what they charge the regular day. They do this for the charity and out of their good hearts. And I'll tell you right now, everybody just puts out as much as they can and help as much as they can. Family and friends come out, sell T-shirts. Well, they don't sell them. They actually take the donations for them. We don't sell anything. And it's just great. It really is. So Brock Yates will be there. So I figured you're going to ask if you can drive his car.
Who again? I missed that.
Brock Yates.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Brock.
Yeah.
Boy.
You know, Brock was my neighbor. They moved now about 45 minutes away. That's okay.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, Brock's a good man. He
Yep.
really is.
Yep.
So now, do you still seek out a sponsor to cover the expense of the track like back in the day?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. I can honestly tell you 100% of every penny goes to the Ronald McDonald House. I have a sponsor for the track, for all the class winners, all the class runner-ups. Everything is covered through sponsorship, every single penny. I don't write a single check. I won't. If I were to do that, then that wouldn't be 100%, so I just don't. If I
Right.
can't get it sponsored, it doesn't get done. And my friend, we get it done.
That
We
is
get it done.
so cool. Now, obviously, we have some mutual friends that have been part of your event in the past. Part of your go-kart race that you had a few
Oh yeah,
years ago.
yeah, that was fun.
So, of course, I'm talking about Kelly Barbado and her fiance
Yeah,
Dawn Knobler.
Kelly. Is
Yeah,
Kelly on now?
I don't think she is. I know she's building another car with her dad and with
Hey,
Dawn.
yeah, yep.
So, um, that's that's really really amazing. Now, are you ever able to bring any of the kids out to the track
Well, I've
or
tried.
families?
I have tried to do that. I even I'm sorry, I'm sharing something real quick.
Oh, that's
I
fine. No,
I even tried to have them bust. I had a limo service that was willing to do it, and then I had a family member who was working with the bus thing for a while. And Dolores, I just sent you something if you can see it. Anyway, the kids the kids want to. The families are afraid to leave the sick children in the hospital, sick child in the hospital.
right,
So it just never really worked out well, unfortunately. Um, but I mean, I would love nothing more than that. But I'll tell you, I have the honor of meeting some really good people that come up every year. Somebody comes up and takes a couple of minutes to speak during the drivers' meeting. And it's funny because last year, I'm sure you watched Street Outlaws, Chris Rankin with the relic and everything. They came out and they brought Kiko from Kiko's Garage, and he came out. He's from New York. And it's just here's guys that are on TV all the time racing and everything, and they came out for free. And it turned out that Kiko's brother Orlando stayed at the Ronald McDonald's house.
really.
And I didn't know it until like 5 minutes before I put the microphone in his hand. I said, "You got to
Fun.
talk, let people know what it's really about." And I'll tell you right now, man, until you go to the McDonald's house and see what they do and what's necessary, it's hard to appreciate. It really is. It's easy to talk about it, but until you see it happening, every now and then, unfortunately, you see the family with that look in their eye, and it will tear you up. It will
It
tear
will
you.
it will destroy you.
Yeah, you've witnessed, and it's just one of those things where I don't know. It makes you want to do more. It really does. In fact, I have a couple sponsors, like my buddy Brian High Grade Maintenance Solutions. That man brought his kids the past couple of years, and he won't stop. He loves what's happening. He loves being a part of it. His family loves it. I have a friend Joe Stottlemyre. Him and his family come out and they support. These folks can just write a check and walk away, but they don't. They come out to the toy drive. They carry the bags of toys in. They're there delivering in Philadelphia, and it's not down the street for them. You know, it's a couple hours total to get
Right.
there, and they're there for it, man. It's just once you witness what the house is all about, you just want to be a part of it. I
Wow.
think everybody has good in them, and I think everybody wants to do something good and wants to help, and they're not sure how. Well, that's where I come in. That's what my neighbor says. He's yet to come to a single event in 18 years, but he writes me a check every event. And I said, Rick, why don't you come out? You're paying for it. And he says, I just want to help. I don't want to take the time to do it, but I want to help. He says, and I know you'll make sure it gets there. And that made me feel pretty good, to be honest with you. So, folks that are listening, I promise you, you go on to www.race4thehouse, and there's .org, and there is a link there where you can vote for your favorite fan, which I'll tell you about in a minute, or you can just plain donate. And 100% of everything goes to the Ronald McDonald House. And you can just be a part of it that way. If you can't come out and see us, if you can't visit us and help us out, you can still help. And you can write it off on your taxes. It's a 501(c)(3). And on that note about you can vote for your favorite driver, Keith Allison, who's one of the bike riders up there, he's a pretty darn cool guy. He comes up with this idea. Well, why don't you sell votes for us drivers? You know, one vote, $15 a night at the McDonald's house. I was like, that's not a bad idea, Keith. So I figured out what I want to do and everything, and I got in touch with my web designer, One Sky Media. And you want to talk about people that are good and huge hearts. His name is John Oppenheimer. One Sky Media kicks butt. I'm telling you, man. So anyway, he put together this way where you can just click a button and it'll take you right to this thing where you put the information in, you make your vote for $15. Well, I'm not going to put out any numbers just in case any of the people are actually listening right now, but I just added everything up about an hour ago. We're up to over $2,900.
Wow.
I mean, and they're having fun. If you go onto my page, Denny Patterson, or onto the Race for the House, you'll see that these guys are making jokes against each other and getting people to vote for them, and it gets out of hand sometimes. They have a great time, but it's worth every moment you read.
So Dave just made another comment and says, I'm smoking Paul, Keith, and that other guy this year.
That's just a big, he's putting it nice. Trust me, it gets down and dirty sometimes. These guys they're ruthless. And believe me, they drive the same way they kid. Look, we are all really great friends. But we know how to cut on each other too. Dave and his wife came out to and his sister. Dave comes from Lebanon. He came all the way down to Clifton Heights at Murray's Bar. And my friend that I used to play with when I used to do music, him and I actually reunited for a night. We did a set about an hour. Had a blast, by the way. It was so good to be standing there with Dave again. His name is Dave Norrell. But anyway, Dave Basher came out and his wife, they came all the way out. He didn't throw anything, so I was pretty happy, grateful actually that he didn't throw anything. But we all had a good time. We had some good laughs and everything. But yeah, it's the guys are great. They really are. And it's a lot of fun throughout the year, not just for a day.
Right. Or yeah, for a span of a few months. It's a year-long thing.
It is. It's turned into that. And it's not like I wanted it to. It's just that it has happened. You know, it's just it happened. And I'm grateful.
They develop a life of their own and they take off running and said, okay, give me your hand because you're coming along with me.
Exactly what happened. And I'll tell you what, we're having fun ever since.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I know, again, you know, with the two places that I've dealt with in the past with our son, you know, I want people to know, you know, these aren't like bare minimum rooms or facilities that the families are staying at. These are just shy of first class digs that, you know, that they're at. The rooms, I know, again, I'll use the one closest to me as an example. Each room at David's house has a theme, you know, and it just, I don't know what to say about it other than that it's one of the greatest things in the world.
They like I said, with this whole reunion thing, remodeling thing, that what they've done is every room has everything you need in it, and it's all done in a way where it's easy for people to access. They made the most they can out of the room, and I'm telling you, they're so on top of how to make things work. There's laundry, there's computers, there's game room for all the other siblings, there's washers and dryers, there's everything you need to keep your life going. And it costs money, and that's where we come in. And I ask that anybody and everybody there, please go onto the website, make a small donation. It doesn't hurt, I promise you. It won't hurt you a bit. Your fingers will be fine. And just know that you made a difference. One night of comfort in your darkest hours means the world to these people.
Okay, a couple more comments I'm going to read to you, Denny.
All right.
Leighton says, oh, it's time to get serious. Hang on, pork boys, from the other guy.
Leighton was our winner 2 years in a row. Yeah, he takes it very good.
Then David came back. Leighton who?
Oh, man. See, they're being nice. They're being nice. But if you go onto the website, you can see some of the stuff they've been throwing out at each other. We got Pork Boy and Pulled Pork and Hot Dog Man, who becomes Wiener Man. And I'm telling you, these guys are brutal. And that's how they drive too. And they will all be racing, even though they're having fun.
David just said he's a cheater.
You see? You see? This is where it happens. And this goes on and on. And again, I'm telling you, this is very tame. But
Oh, I can
yeah,
I can just imagine.
I think you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Now let's talk about goals for you and the charity, things that you would like to see for Race for the House. What are they?
I honestly, I have some wishes, Chris. That's a good question. I have some wishes. My goal would be to make $1 million for the house. Well, I don't think I'm going to live that long, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get to $500,000. I would like for someone to pick up where I leave off when that day happens. I mean, I'm not looking to leave my position here doing this, but I may not be able to live forever. I don't know. It's, the jury's still out on that. But I would like to know that somebody would pick up, or some people would pick up and keep running with it, and that this legacy will continue. I'm not going to cure anybody of anything, and I'm not going to be in charge of anything big like the world or the United States or anything. So I can do this, and I hope that it continues long after I'm gone. And I hope that people just keep helping people.
It's safe to say that you hope a day comes where you don't ever have to put pen to paper and write another check.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't it?
Yep.
That's a big someday, but wouldn't it be awesome? Yeah. Oh, and you know what? I gotta tell you something else, only because it's only fair for. I can't, like I said, I can't remember everybody who does everything for us. S&W Speed Race Cars, you know that name. Everybody knows
Yep.
the name. They are actually making a crown for us now for the fan favorite for this voting thing. I mean, they're really getting involved in making a really nice crown to give away as the winner as well. I mean, this is the type of caliber of people that are getting involved with us now. I mean, it's no longer, the grocery store down the street give me a $15 gift card. It just blows me away. And that's what I want. I want the community, as big or small as it is, I want the entire community to be involved in doing something. Moving the toy drive to Phoenixville and Kimberton now, this place is twice the size of the other places I had, and they want to help. And they're saying next year they're going to get fire companies from all around to collect toys and bring it out, and we'll have a blast all in one day. I mean, they want to do these things. And another man I should actually mention now that I think about it is the man who I call him my handler, but he's actually my friend. He's like a brother to me. I'm telling you, his name is Anthony Stover, and he's one of the nicest, truest, genuine people you will ever meet. And there isn't a single function he doesn't come out to. And I'm talking weekends and nights and everything. He doesn't stop. He's like the Terminator, man. He's just keeps going. But Anthony has come up with a little thing. I'm looking at my note here. And he said to me one day, simply, he says, Denny, I can't, but we can. And I got to tell you, I love that saying, because I can't do it by myself. It takes the village. So we can. And I ask you again, be part of the village, be one of the angels. We can do this. We can make a difference. We already are, but we need to keep it going. And Chris, you're doing a wonderful thing for me by letting me be here and push everything a little bit. I thank you for that.
Anything for a charity like that, anything for charity, but obviously something that this is, again, I know I've said it a few times already, this is something that's a little closer to my heart than, most people.
Yeah, I get that.
So
I do.
How's things looking for 2022 as far as the event? Do you still have more people coming on board? You have more trash talking going on, like Leighton just said, size 7, thank you.
All right, he wants to get fitted for it. I get it.
how are things coming? I mean, you're 2 months and 7 days away from your event. How are things looking for this year?
They're actually looking great. The only thing right now, everything's turnkey, Chris. The only
Yep.
thing that can stop us at this point is the weather. I already have the track sponsored. I already have all the classes sponsored. I got everything done. You never heard me say that before. Usually it's like
Not
weeks
since I've known you.
before. Chris, they are coming out left and right to help out.
That's
And
awesome.
I mean, it's just become that much better. More better good, more better
Right.
good. Things are looking great. Right now, all I got to do is just simply wait for the day to show up and hope and pray that it's a nice day. Yeah, right. And with all that being said, all we got to do now is just have some fun. And that's the
Awesome.
other thing, by the way. The staff at Cedar Hollow Inn, the staff at Murray's Bar and Grill, they're absolutely wonderful people. All the firefighters and all the volunteers at the toy drive are awesome people. Maple Grove Raceway, since this is a racing show, even though I kind of tend to go off beat here, Maple Grove Raceway staff, Chris, they are always top notch. They can be tough on people that just want to like, come on, let me slide. The answer is no, because they really do care about your safety and everything. Well, these folks, they come in, some of them donate their time that day. They don't take a paycheck. One year they all donated just to get the track rental. And they do a great job, man. They really do. They get in the heart of everything. They put on the striped socks and shirts and everything. And it's just a great community day of fun. There's no points. You don't have to take anybody's head off. Let's just go race for fun. And that's the other thing too. Last year, the gentleman that Dave was talking about is Paul Mahala.
Yep.
He literally raced for the house. He won, and he and the other guy, before they raced the final, they came up with the idea to split. Paul got out of his car, jumps out, gives me a big hug, and says, "I just raced for you." Gave me the check that he just won. It was like $3,000. I mean, who does this?
Right.
These are what these people are. Dave Batchelor, he does the same thing. He collects money at Dogfest. Chris, you got to experience it to really get it. Folks, anybody listening, take the trip. Come out and see what true love is, man, because these racers are just there to be brothers and sisters and do what they can. And it is truly a day of love, like the McDonald's house says. It's all family. We even had Jimmy Murray, who's the co-founder of the Ronald McDonald House from the Eagles. He came out a couple times.
Really?
I mean, we had Susan Campbell, who's way up that ladder. She's like the CEO. She's came out to the toy drive. I mean, with Anthony, of course. I mean, we are being recognized. The work that we're doing is now recognized. And they are doing whatever they can to help us anytime they can. And that just means something. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Get your hot rod, throw it in the trailer, come on down June 18th, have some fun. The hardest part of the whole day is writing your check to get in. That's the hardest part, man.
I think we should. I don't think he's listening. I think he's at work. But I think we should have Steve Rhodes stand out at one of the traffic lights somewhere down there with a boot, like they used to do at Englishtown for the Summer Nationals. I don't remember the intersection, but it was in town. Firefighters are out there with the boot. I think that'd be a good job for Steve.
Well, they passed the boot at the toy drive because it's at a firehouse. So it's just, again, I'm telling you, man, if you want to hitch your wagon to something that's fun and means and it makes a big difference, this is it.
Awesome.
This is the one.
So, all right, let's kind of shift gears just a tiny bit now. Obviously, you raced the last I knew. You have your Monza, is that correct?
We now have the Monza, yep. I still have the Chevelle in the garage, pulled the motor out of that and put it in the Monza.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember you had some motor issues a while back.
Well, the Monza I'm driving belonged to Leighton, who's writing in thinking that he's going to win the crown this year. Yeah, I bought his Monza, and the motor, I had an issue. Well, I didn't have an issue. It had over 1,000 passes on the rod. So we pulled the motor out, and then that COVID thing hit. You might have heard of it.
No, I didn't hear anything about it.
It's you can look it up. It's online.
Just
And,
Google it.
Yeah, Google it. Yeah, trust me, it's there. Yeah, when that hit, I couldn't get the heads, I couldn't get the valves, and everything just went upside down. And then the guy who's one of my closest friends, and he's also my engine builder, he got ill. Diabetes kind of got him a little bit, but he's a tough old goat. He got back up on the horse and he's back at it. We don't have the motor done yet, but we're just about ready to start the assembly. We've done all the measuring and everything. We're just getting things balanced, the crank balanced. And that's the other thing. We took the crank out and we hit it with the wrench. Instead of it ringing, it just went thunk. Well, that's no good. So we had to get another crank also. And nothing was easy. Nothing was easy. And nothing's cheap, but so there's a little bit of a lag trying to save up for things. But
Right.
I'm hoping to have my car at the race this year, but I'll tell you right now, I don't race because it wouldn't be fair. But I do.
You wouldn't want to beat up on everybody while you're putting on an event.
I don't want everybody to beat up on me, making me look bad. I'm the old guy. I'm the fish in a bucket anymore. Come on. Those days of going to the Pomona after winning the Neds, those days are behind me.
Curiosity. Obviously, COVID's still a part of everybody's world now,
Yeah.
the new flu, whatever you want to call it. I honestly can't remember because I was going through some more surgery stuff back in 2020. Were you able to put your event on that year?
Yep.
Outstanding.
We thankfully Maple Grove was in a county that said X amount of people for X amount of property. I think that was the stipulation. And as long as everybody masked up, which people did anyway, because it's just smart to do, everything was fine. Didn't have an issue. The attendance was a little low, yes.
Right.
But not by that much. Not by as much as you would think. And I'm talking like maybe 20, 30 cars, tops.
That's nothing.
Yeah. And that was the year for the toy drive, since we weren't allowed inside the buildings and congregate or anything. So me and my merry little friends, we went outside and we stood outside in that weather, and we, at the firehouse, Leighton, who I work with, he brought out a heater, a propane heater, and we had a tent from Ronald McDonald House and from a friend of ours, Jim Skimba from a firehouse as well, rented us a tent. So between 2 tents and a little heater, we managed not to get too sick, and we stood there, and the cars came down single file, gave us the toys, and we quick gathered the toys out of the car while I was talking to the driver. We got donations, and we did better than the year before.
Awesome.
We did 40, I think it was 40, yeah, $4,700 that year for the whole year. So yeah, COVID didn't stop this from happening, because I keep telling everybody, illness doesn't know that it's day, night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, can't, it just happens. It just happens. And it has no mercy. And so I just keep on pushing that fact that we need to keep doing this no matter what's going on in the world. I mean, look what's happening now overseas. It's horrible. I still find it hard to believe that in this day and age, humanity can still be cruel like that,
Right.
But I'll tell you what, people are still trying to help the kids. They still want to help the families. And I'm very thankful. McDonald's House, they had to go down to like a skeleton crew.
Right.
And it was hard for them. It was really hard. I think they were down to like 25% capacity by law, which meant it was really hard to help people, but they still did it. They still got them places to stay. They still helped out. The hospitals were down on their surgeries and whatnot, but if the child has cancer and they need help now, they're getting help now, period.
Right. Yeah, that's
no ifs, ands, or buts. And people really came through again.
Cool. All right. June 18th, 2022. What do you got for me, Denny?
We're going to do it. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to wish that people come out. If it's a cloudy day, then come out in your grocery getter. If you're afraid that you don't want to take your hot rod out, come out and watch the people who do come out. But if you can, I don't care how far you got to come, it'll be worth it to you. Put your car in the trailer, get on down here, have some fun, do something good for somebody. You will feel better, I promise. The hardest part is taking that money out of your wallet. That's the hard part. After that, it's going to be a blast. Please keep up to date. Go to www.race4thehouse.org. And that's the website by One Sky Media. And you can go on to Facebook and you can look up Denny Patterson, or you can go to my other Facebook, which is Race for the House. And between the three things, you can stay up to date. You can make some donations. You can vote. You can make a difference. And believe me, even just one $15 vote is a night. So that makes a difference. You can be the difference.
Very cool. That's awesome. I've loved this event since I first heard about it, and I've been waiting and waiting for the right time to have you back on and get back involved in it. And
I'm glad you did.
from here on out, you have a home to tell the world.
We'll take that. And I thank you. And I thank everybody who's listening. I wish you all continued success. Be safe and please do what you can to make a difference.
Absolutely. You know, again, from somebody who's been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, you don't know till you know. I mean, I don't know. It's one of the coolest things ever. It really is.
Yeah, it's a shame, but they do a great job. They really do.
They do.
And I get to help.
Now, just my own curiosity, I'm trying to think of this. Ronald McDonald House is located in essentially downtown Philly. Is that correct?
Chestnut Street, yeah.
You ever tried doing a car show?
A couple hundred times. I was about to have one for the race this year. It's funny. I did a little bit of a car show at the Toy Drive. I did it a couple times in Maple Grove. When you can have a car cruise, which means people can come in, and as long as they keep the hood down, you're good. If it's a car show and that people raise the hood, now that's a whole different permit you got to get. And I didn't know that, and so it's like, well, I don't have that kind of money myself. I haven't had time to get sponsors. Well, next year, not only at the Toy Drive will we have a car show, which will be great because it's right there. That's at Kimberton Firehouse, on the fairgrounds. But also, we're going to have the car show at Maple Grove Raceway. Almost had it this year. It just couldn't quite happen. But I got a guy who's all about doing it. He's done these before, and he's going to handle it for me. That would be DZM Automotive.
My next question: how about a car parade by Ronald McDonald House?
Well, in Phoenixville, they have this thing called the Dogwood Festival. My sister texted me the other day and said, well, why doesn't Race for the House get a couple of really cool cars and join the parade? I like that idea. My cool cars basically have open headers, and there's not a cop in the world that's going to let me drive around town that way. So I told her it's a good idea and I should work on it. I haven't done a whole lot of work. I did talk to a couple people, and I think there's a vet I get to borrow at 67. I have a friend who has one of the brand new cars. I might ask him to do it, Joe Stadelmeyer, in case he's listening. We'll see what happens. Like anything else, you got to get permission, you got to get permits. It's jump through all these hoops,
Right.
Not that it's not worth it, but I hear you. I think Kerbeck used to do that big, long race down to their place every year, and people took advantage of the open Jersey Parkway or something like that, and they got out of hand and someone got hurt and they had to stop it. But it was still a pretty cool idea, I think, doing that.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing something like that someday.
Very cool. Well, Denny, it's been awesome getting a chance to talk to you again, buddy. After the event, if you're game, we'll do what we used to do. We'll do a post-event wrap up,
Like that. I would
All
like
right,
that. Yeah, man.
very cool.
Thank you again so much for giving us the time to do this, Chris. I appreciate that. And I appreciate
very
all
welcome.
your family out there that are listeners. I know there's so many of you out there. Thank you for taking the time to not hang up or do anything else. We appreciate it. Please go on the website.
Go on and vote.
Go vote. That's right.
Yep.
And there's a few people will tell you who they want you to vote for.
Even if you don't know who they are and you just like the way their name sounds, go ahead and click that little button.
It all goes to the same account. So do the vote or just do the donation. But
Yep.
please do something.
Absolutely.
It's to us.
All right, Denny Parison, Race for the House, an amazing event, and we'll be talking to you soon, Denny.
Thanks, brother. You take care of yourself.
You got it, pal.
So long now.
All right, take care. All right, before we do wrap it up for tonight, I got to give a big shout out to Jerron Settles. He kind of got the monkey off his back and run it up at one of the divisionals out in Vegas. So big congratulations to Jerron. Hopefully the next one you'll be holding the man. So with that being said, everybody check out Race for the House on Facebook, on the internet, make a donation. $15 does a lot for a lot of people. And that's that. And I hope everybody has a great night. We are going to be back next Monday night. It's going to be me and Pete, and we're going to have as our guest Brandon Bernstein. Yes, I said Brandon Bernstein, the Budweiser King's son, and also the director of marketing for Lucas Oil Products. It's going to be joining us next Monday night at 7:00. Be sure to tune in, check us out. Have a great night, everybody. Stay safe. See ya.